took credit on Friday for a peace deal negotiated in Washington between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda and complained that he would not get a Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts. The warring African nations said in a joint statement on Wednesday that they had initiated an agreement aimed at ending the conflict in eastern DRC to be formally signed in the U.S. capital next week. The resource-rich eastern DRC, which borders Rwanda, has been plagued by violence for 3 decades now, with a resurgence since the anti-government M23 armed group went on a renewed offensive at the end of 2021. The deal, which builds on a declaration of principles signed in April, was reached during 3 days of talks between the neighbors in Washington, and according to their statement, this has been confirmed. Maurice Carney, Executive Director of Friends of Congo, is joining us on the program to talk more about this. Maurice, appreciate you joining us. While it's a good thing that the conflict between these two great nations is coming to an end, but do you think Donald Trump should be taking credit for it? Because for as long as I know, there has been war. There has also been an initiative to strike peace. Do you think Donald Trump can just come in and say that I'm the one who got this done?
Whether I think he can or not, Donald Trump, that's what he's going to do. As you're absolutely right. The African Union has led an initiative called the Luanda Accords. The East African community has an initiative. Qatar has been involved in an initiative as well. The Southern African Development Community. There's been a host of initiatives over the years. Interestingly enough, this last initiative being shepherded by the United States is not fundamentally different from the previous ones, in the sense that it really doesn't get to the core of the matter and take into consideration the concerns of local communities. Really, the U.S. interests in this effort is around the access to critical minerals, competing with China, getting U.S. businesses in to secure mineral rights. For example, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Michael Bloomberg, they're invested in a company called Cobalt Metals, and they're going to be getting access to lithium in the southeast of the Congo. So it's really more about the economic interests of the U.S. and bringing about peace in the east of the Congo.
And Maurice, obviously this peace is absolutely important. Number of leaders, including Donald Trump, have gone on to say that this is not the age of war. But what do these countries need to do at this point in time to make sure that they don't get into this warlike mode again?
Well, it's kind of interesting because there's so much bounty in the Congo. That the countries in the region, like Congo, is bordered by 9 other African countries. No other country on the African continent has that many countries bordering it. But you have certain leaders like Paul Kagame of Rwanda and Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. They're primarily concerned about their personal interests rather than the interests of the continent as a whole. I think the more you see African leaders, like you see in West Africa, you see Niger and Mali, Burkina Faso coming together. It's that type of leadership that's needed on the continent that can, mitigate efforts or mitigate, wars that we see unfolding on the continent. So it's a question of leadership, and in large part, that leadership, new leadership that we see coming about, is driven by the population. The population see there's so much wealth on the African continent, and they want to start benefiting from it. So I think we're going to see the efforts that are unfolding in West Africa catch on to the rest of the continent, which will have an impact on the conflicts in different parts, different hotspots there.
Maurice, always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. All right, moving on. In the